unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1.
Final Encounter Cast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncounterCast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
What's up? Welcome to Final Encounter Cast. Limit Break Radio's talk show about video games, the video game industry, the most relevant stuff in gaming, basically Pokemon Go. We're talking about Pokemon.
Always Pokemon.
We're going to talk about Pokemon Go again today. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you so much for your support. We took last week off, and that was in part due to our Patreon total. We have a Patreon available over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio, and our stretch goal of making this show weekly resided at $2,000. Well, that total had dipped below $1,800 1 week ago, and we issued a challenge over at Limit Break Radio, which is our talk show about Final Fantasy XIV. You can find that at limitbreakradio.com. We issued the challenge that if listeners wanted this show to remain every week, that they had to get us back above $2,000. They answered that call. I'm sorry. The correct caveat there is above $2,000 or more than 200 patrons. And looking at our patron page right now, we are sitting at $2,137 and 191 overall patrons. So wow. we are back on the air live here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. Glad for you guys to be able to join us here today. We've got an exciting show. We are not just going to talk about Pokemon Go, although there is a lot to talk about in terms of Pokemon Go. So that's going to be a big topic today. But of course, as we always do, we got to check out what's going on in FF14, or I'm sorry, not FF14, but what's going on in gaming news. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, I want to bring in my crew. We've got Chris, Robbie, Nika. Robbie and Nika rocking some gym badges there.
Oh yeah,
Chris rocking Team Valor shirt.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. And
my Team Valor shirt is dirty. Otherwise, I would have.
Oh, what? Come. What?
I ran into some Mystics. What do you expect?
And we've also got Callie in the background. We've got Papa Woody here as well. You can see him on some of our wider shots. Not that one particularly. That was his hand. Like the Addams Family character. There you are. There you are. It's funny because we frame you out of literally all but one shot.
Right. And we're trying to get that shot framed you out of as well.
I know. Yeah. It's a wide angle camera, so it hits the whole room, and we just can't seem to get it. There's more dead space. Yeah. See, we have to make sure that it cuts off you and Callie as well, because Callie, we've got a knee in the shot there, so that's excellent.
Please look forward to it.
Luckily, you still have Tracer's ass in the shot, so
that is true.
Right.
That is true. We're actually going to be working on getting some more cameras here for our setup, so you can look forward to that in the next couple of weeks. We're excited that you guys are here. Make sure that you're checking out our RSS feeds, our podcast feeds. Those are available over at iTunes. Search Final Encounter Cast on iTunes. You can find those, as well as available on Google Play. So make sure that if you use Google Play, you can now find Final Encounter Cast and all of the LBR Podcast Network over on Google Play. And we do want to thank our sponsors, Alamo City Comic-Con. That's happening October 28th through the 30th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center in San Antonio, Texas. Some of the more recent guest announcements include Nolan North, infamous voice actor, and the voice of Nathan Drake, as well as has done voices for the Batman Arkham series, as well as Destiny, countless others. Nolan North seems
He's in everything.
He's in everything.
He's done every act.
Literally in everything.
Yeah.
as well as the
Balkan Skull.
That Balkan Skull.
Jason Narvi and Paul Scheer.
They're going to be out there at Alamo City Comic Con, as well as at least someone from the Limit Break. I think it's going to be me. I think I'm going to be out there at Alamo City Comic Con. We're still sort of we're like. It's an internal debate who gets to go out to Alamo City because
everyone wants to go.
There are so many cool people that we're going to be able to meet, like David Tennant and Billy Piper and Karen Gillan, and David Prowse is going to be out there. Billy D. Williams, like half the Fresh Prince crew. There's a lot of really cool people that are going to be out at Alamo City Comic Con. We're excited that they've asked us to be guests as well. We're going to be making a big announcement out at Alamo City. So if you're a fan of the network, if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, if you're a fan of the show, you're going to want to be tuned into at least what's announced out at Alamo City Comic Con, because it's going to be a big deal. AlamoCityComicCon.com if you want to find tickets and hotel accommodations, and hopefully we will see you there. All right, so let's check out what's going on in the news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
Alrighty, guys. So first up, we've got a new Batman mobile game from Lord of the Rings online developer Turbine Studios, which sees players taking on the roles of Gotham's underworld elite. The goal is to become the next criminal mastermind by amassing an army of villains, defeating rival villains, and eventually squaring off against the Caped Crusader. The game is currently available for iOS, and the developers have said there are no plans currently to bring it to Android.
That's...
How odd is that?
That's a really surprising jump, because that's like locking out half your market.
That's so odd. Like, I actually double checked that, like, to find another news source. I'm like, wait, really? It's not going to Android?
I wonder why. I wonder if it's because, you'd have to develop so many different versions to have it work among so many different pieces of hardware. Maybe. That's the only thing that I can guess. But it really seems confusing to me to only put this out for iOS. Hardware. That is very confusing.
Just laziness.
It's a cool concept where you play as the villains rather than as Batman.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
so when you win, do you kill Batman?
They say they're the final goal of the game is the big standoff with Batman. So I'd assume you win by killing Batman.
No, or you win by purposefully losing.
Or that.
Even when you win, you lose.
Yeah. Well,
Instead of dying, you just go to Arkham.
Yeah. This does take place before the Arkham Asylum game series, so...
Well, so then you can't kill him.
In the canon?
They say that there's a canon to it. So.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
But guys, seriously, I think the thing in gaming that I hate the most is when canon bridges multiple...
Right, how can you count this as part of the Arkham series? Yeah.
Don't get me started on the Kingdom Hearts crap. Just... No.
Because Turbine didn't do anything with any of the other previous entries into the Arkham series. Why would they have... I don't understand. Why would they be adding to the canon? And,
maybe canon with Lord of the Rings.
My only guess was that people wanted to know where would for a reference point, where should this take place? That's what I would guess
I'd be kind of okay with that game where you could play as the Balrog and take on Batman. That would be all right. Sauron.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, all right. I'm into that.
Okay, well,
I'm
then
gonna have my
Lord of the Rings meets the DC universe.
We definitely, in that case, we need to find out where this game would take place in the Lord of the Rings canon.
Yeah, is this before
the Shire?
Well, I mean,
it's got to be pre-Two Towers if the Balrog's around, right?
Yeah, right. I mean,
pre-Fellowship actually. It's got to be pre-Fellowship.
No. Dead set in the Silmarillion. Come on. Gotta dig
Shut
deep.
up, you nerd.
Top-tier Smash Bros. Player Christian Hugo Medina has lost his sponsorship and his team after allegedly groping a girl in her sleep at EVO last week.
What?
The victim, a Smash streamer and commentator in her own right, alleges the heavily intoxicated Medina slid in between her and her boyfriend while they slept and groped under her shirt and down her pants.
Okay, now hold on. Allegedly... I thought that I read that he actually admitted
to
It's always a legend until they're convicted.
Exactly. Yes, he has admitted to doing it.
For legal reasons, you have to say alleged
right.
until the court case is finished. But yes, he did admit to this. And God,
Yes.
what a scumbag!
That like he said it was like he was super drunk, but that's just not an excuse.
No,
you can't do that.
No, that's not okay. Yeah, like
Well, and according to the article too that I read, like, so she had actually moved beds after, like once they're
Right.
she moved beds, and then he had gotten up and got into bed with another girl and did the same.
No,
thing to
it was
her.
the same girl. He just got into the
Oh, it was
new
the same
bed
one.
with
Same-
her,
yep.
and this time the guy who was in that bed already woke up and kicked him out of the room.
Good.
Yeah, good.
well, how did he not get a total ass whooping?
Right? You're in a room full of people like who definitely know this girl. How did he not just get his ass kicked?
Yeah, for real. I mean, and that's ridiculous. That well, first of all, that's the right move to distance yourself. All of your sponsorship goes out the window.
Yes.
When something like this happens.
Yeah.
Of course, and that. Oh my God.
Well, the question is, why didn't her boyfriend like beat the shit out of him while he was in the bed groping his girlfriend?
Apparently, he didn't wake up. I assume
maybe they
alcohol
were
was
all
involved
drunk
on
and
all
passed
fronts in
out.
this.
Yeah.
He was probably blacked out.
Still doesn't make it okay.
No.
Still does not make it okay.
No, it's scummy.
Yeah, definitely scummy. And is she? Do you know? Did it say is she pressing charges?
I didn't read that she's pressing charges.
I don't know. I don't think that I remember it saying that she was going to. I think that she had basically, said that his career is more or less over anyway, and
so that
Call
it a day.
Yeah.
Exposing him was enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he obviously realizes too that it was his fault. Like he got drunk. It's that. Yeah, so I mean,
that's true. He didn't
is taking
try
the
to
blame too,
completely-
and
yeah.
fessing up to it and stuff like that.
You know what?
so.
And here's the thing. And I know that we're sitting here giving Hyuga a lot of shit, but at least he did own up to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
There are a lot of people that would try to blame some other excuse and then fight back, and
or rely on alcohol as the excuse and justification.
Right.
It's
And as a
neither one
cautionary-
of those. It is neither one.
he could have claimed he didn't remember doing
Totally.
it. and all that,
Oh,
but he
easily.
didn't. Yeah.
Absolutely. And at least at least at least that I feel like that's like the one little nugget of
He's a scumbag
optimism.
+1 instead of a scumbag -80.
Yeah.
Well, the thing to take away from it too is that even if you are a good person, you'd never do those kinds of things. You get enough alcohol in you, and you never know what might happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Cautionary tale for anyone who, really
I
anyone.
hope you're
I
not
think.
speaking from experience, Robbie.
Huh?
But I hope you're not speaking from experience.
No.
What? That's pretty bad accusation there,
I mean,
Nika.
you did just throw out, you never know when you get too much alcohol, even if you're a good person, you never
Well,
know.
This is the episode of
that's-
FEC where we find about Robbie's dark past.
And for starters, Robbie is definitely not a good person, okay?
Well, let's not.
So he'd do the opposite when he's drunk.
Let's not sit here and be naive and say that alcohol doesn't change you in enough quantities. You get enough of that in your system, and I mean there are people who are normally they can keep their bullshit at bay, and alcohol just really takes that inhibition away, and they can they can do some terrible shit when they're in that state. So I mean let's not be disingenuous about it and say, oh well, it does change you. It absolutely does, and that's not an excuse.
It's your responsibility to know how it changes you and to be prepared for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Well, on a bit more of lighthearted news, Square Enix and Sony faced off in what was reported to be a pretty epic match of Overwatch. Far from the first time an event like this has happened, Team Square Enix obliterated Team Sony at Call of Duty Black Ops 3 back in February.
Your boy Squeenix.
This time around, Sony managed to save face by winning the third round, but Square Enix, who had Soken on their team, by the way, claimed victory overall by winning the first two rounds.
Nice. That's awesome.
Is this like a regular thing that happens? Or
apparently, Sony and Square Enix show down occasionally in video games.
That's really cool.
Is this match recorded?
2 out of 3. If they're doing 2 out of 3, they shouldn't even have got that third match. I feel like that was just all right. You know what, guys? We've already beat them twice. We need to let them go with a little bit of dignity. Let's toss this last one. It's the only way.
Yeah, especially after beating them down. Like supposedly, the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 was just a slaughter.
Yeah.
We're all soldiers now.
That's really cool, though. I like that.
Yeah. That sounds like a fun event. I'd like to. Like, I don't know if there's video of that online somewhere, but I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, fly on a wall, right?
Yeah. Rise of the Tomb Raider with VR will be launching October 11th in a new 20-year celebration edition. The game will feature an all-new story chapter entitled Blood Ties. It will also have a new co-op endurance mode, extra weapons and outfits, all previous DLC, and a limited edition art book.
Okay.
So, if you like Tomb Raider, swag.
Okay.
I mean, that's cool. I do like Tomb Raider, but I feel like who's that invested in Tomb Raider?
Well, not that. What bothers me the most is when you take games that weren't designed to be VR and then make a VR version. Like, to me, that's like going to see a movie in 3D. It doesn't add anything and really just annoys me more than anything else.
I mean, the cool thing about the current VRs is that it doesn't necessarily mean you're actually running around, but that it, encompasses your entire field of vision.
The newest Tomb Raider was third person, right?
It puts you into the game.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about a third-person VR game.
I mean, it's like watching it like a movie in front of your entire eyeballs.
I guess. I
Which
don't
is
know.
cool because you're completely immersed in the visual experience.
Already, just fine.
But you are not everyone else. Somebody wanted it enough that it became a thing. So.
Yeah, they wanted money enough.
It's too bad that nobody wants Samurai and FF14 enough.
Jeez.
Shut up.
Square Enix has partnered with Legendary Digital Pictures to create a live-action adaptation of Life is Strange. The adaptation will be an ongoing series and will be a reimagining of the events of Arcadia Bay and Blackwell Academy. No words yet on whether Max will be the main character, though it would be tough to do it without her, I would imagine.
Now, I actually never really got around to playing this, but it seems like one of those things that actually would lend itself well to translating to a movie.
Absolutely. Like, just the very premise is, it's this girl who discovers she can rewind time and relive past experiences in short bursts and whatnot. That does sound like a good, ongoing series.
Yeah.
It's a very easy concept to work with.
I'd say ongoing series, I think, is what's going to be the key to this. Otherwise, you're just Prince of Persia.
Yeah, but I mean, there are certain... Because... we always talk about this when we hear a new video game movie is being worked on.
Sure.
And it's always the interactive part of games that is the hardest to make translate into a passive medium.
Right.
And I sort of feel like Life is Strange is one of those that always drew way more heavily on the narrative, and then therefore would have much more creative wiggle room than, say, something like Tetris.
Well, Life is Strange always... Yeah. Well, Life is Strange always played very much like a visual novel to me. That's how I felt going through it. And yeah, that seems like it would translate great into a movie or a TV show.
Well, the thing that I worry about, though, because a long time ago, there was talk that they were going to make a movie based on the first Mass Effect game, which you would think I would be incredibly excited about.
I was excited when I heard that.
But when you have a game that is not linear and it has all kinds of different choices to where everyone's experience with it is different, I feel like trying to turn that into a movie isn't going to work, because the whole point of these games is to be able to make your choice. And when you're watching a movie, you don't get that option.
Yeah.
So
and then it kind of forces what you think, or what the company feels as canon, and then that kind of also invalidates your experience. So
yeah. Yeah, there is, I mean, not to say that there's always only one way that a movie can be read. That's not, I mean, we know that that's obviously not true, but at the same time, yeah, you're right. Like locking down a interactive experience into a singular, narrative, it locks down a lot of those variables that make playing the game and actually the game itself so great.
Yeah.
And I could see how you would be concerned by that, yeah.
Well, the reason I like this for Life is Strange is because for that game, to me, the overarching theme, even though you could get different endings or whatnot, what felt really cool about that game to me was it was kind of designed to show you that choice is your illusion. But even though you have the power to rewind time and change things, once you know the possible future outcomes, there's only one right way to do it in your mind. There's the right thing in your mind to do. You almost feel more trapped given those options. And that could be captured really cool in a TV series where we all kind of have different things that we want to see come out of it, but only one that you might consider the morally right way to go.
Interesting.
They could play with it, but they'd have to be smart.
Yeah.
Following Nintendo's lead, Sega has announced the Mega Drive will be going mini as well. Their console will, like Nintendo's new NES Mini, have games preloaded on it, but will also have a slot for accepting original cartridges. The catch is that it's not actually being made by Sega, merely licensed by it, and the developer is At Games, who isn't exactly known for quality systems. They made the Atari Flashback and the Classic Games console.
Oh,
yes, that's what it's called.
Oh, good.
Which were not particularly great.
I mean, yeah, I do like the fact that it could play carts.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's a little dodgy.
I've never liked a single product that At Games has ever made. So
it's not. How much you want to bet it's not even going to have an HDMI out? It's going to have it's going to have a component.
I can already tell you it doesn't.
Oh my god!
It is component out.
Oh my god!
Really?
Good luck finding a TV that still has a component input.
Yeah.
Or you might, an adapter.
Yeah, right. Like
actually,
you
my
might.
TV does. Mine has both.
I know. Like there are older model like flat panel TVs that still have them.
Just some old grandmas that have those kind of TVs left.
But if you bought your TV in the last 2 years, there's a good chance that all you have are HDMI inputs. So.
In more unfortunate gamer news, Steven Kebula, a 28-year-old Heroes of the Storm player, is currently facing federal charges for threats he made to Blizzard. He received a chat ban in-game after threatening to murder and rape other players' family members.
Wow.
Threatening to bomb the New York Twin Towers.
Oh my god.
And a planned attack on Disneyland.
No, Disneyland, they're innocent.
The threat incensed him.
Nobody's innocent.
He was after the chat ban. That incensed him, and he emailed Blizzard, warning him that he didn't live far from their headquarters and could visit them with an AK-47. They promptly turned it over to the FBI, who arrested him, and he is now facing the maximum penalty of 5 years jail time and $250,000 fine.
Okay, so you just said in other unfortunate news, there's nothing unfortunate about this guy being jailed. He deserves
it's
that.
unfortunate that he exists.
Okay,
that this even happened. Yeah, like what?
That's ridiculous. I mean, first of all, like you've got
things that's okay.
You've got to follow, especially given the climate right now. You've got to follow.
Why are
up.
you so angry?
You got to follow up on everything. Even
you gotta follow up on those threats, man. Like,
you do.
Just keep going.
Oh my god.
You're talking to Steven, by the way.
No, he's not.
to think though that that like it's kind of scary though that some bullshit that you fire off when you're mad could get you.
Here's the thing.
In that much trouble.
When we're mad, we scream about things and we get real salty, but we've never threatened to rape and blow people. I mean, what kind of insane do you have to be to say things
and just
like that?
with all the shootings that going on.
Hold on, because I think it's a lot more commonplace in certain gaming environments than you think it is. I mean, how often do you hear about the 10-year-olds like on Call of Duty saying, I'm going to rape your mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think in this case, what happened was that there was a dude who was probably genuinely disturbed who happened to get caught doing this. Like, had he not been arrested for this, or had he not sent that email to Blizzard, right? This guy could have went on living his life, and in 5 or 6 years, we would have heard about him shooting up a GameStop. Or
Maybe not that, but unfortunately, maybe fortunately that they caught this guy because during his interview with the FBI special agents, he apparently confessed to having sexual fantasies about his 5-year-old niece.
Whoa, God!
Yeah, whoa.
Okay,
So,
how do they even figure that out in the term of the interview? Like, that's not even related.
How did it get to that? I imagine they checked his internet history.
Does he have Tourette's?
Yeah, like I feel like they arrested the guy and he's like, all right, here's everything I've done. Here's everything that I wanted to do. Here's everything that I've ever thought about. This is so great because somebody's actually listening to the words that I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's fucking terrifying.
See, this guy was an actual nutter. Okay?
Yeah, this is that's a good one to get.
Sending email to Blizzard was probably the best thing he could have done for you.
Exactly, like this.
And for himself too, probably.
This is us saving, not having to hear about a shooting 5 years down the line.
Right.
5 months.
5 months down the line.
God damn.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're player haters.
Come on, Blizzard. What are you doing?
An Oregon Trail board game has appeared in Target stores, the cover mimicking the classic computer game. The tagline, "You have died of dysentery," is sure to spark nostalgia for any shoppers who gamed in the 90s.
Interesting. I mean, it's an actual game.
It's a board
played
game.
in the same kind of style as.
My sister sent me a link to this and was super excited about it.
Really?
Yeah, and
I'm super excited about it.
I loved it on the computer. It was one of my favorite games.
Well, the thing is, that was a game that was created by a teacher, right?
Yep,
Like it was That was created by like a elementary. It's like it was like a elementary or high school teacher that wanted to teach their class about frontier times.
Yeah,
frontier times.
What was it like on the frontier?
Yeah, and it just
you could only carry 100 pounds of meat back to your wagon.
I mean,
that was the time back then.
It could only 100 pounds.
Only 100 pounds. Those buffalo, they're like 300 fucking pounds, man. You can't carry that shit.
That's right.
It was always funny, like you go out and shoot buffalo and you shoot like 12 buffalo dead for like 4,000 pounds of meat, and you can only take 100 of it back.
Yeah. Goddamn.
This is why the buffaloes died out.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. All these hunters, then they're like, oh shit, we can't carry this much meat.
Then they all died of dysentery anyway. No one washed their hands before they ate it.
Oh,
make sure you buy lots of yolks and spare tires.
Don't ford the river.
Now, hold on.
Don't ford the river. It's cheaper and easier. Just
chalk the wagon and float it.
Callie, what's the second part of that headline?
There is an adult version of Codenames coming out called Codenames Deep Undercover.
What is Codenames?
Codename. I didn't include it because we don't talk too much board games on here, but Codenames is a game that's out from Cryptozoic now that plays. It's hard to say.
I've already stopped listening.
Yeah, don't worry. I never played Codenames.
It's adults only.
This version of it is, yeah.
So I want to listen about it. Tell me, Callie.
I didn't include it on the outline for a reason because I don't care about Cryptozoic games.
Codenames Deep Undercover puts an adults-only twist on the game with words like commando, motorboat, and clam. Publishers Check Games Edition seems to be saying this was all Target's idea. Oh, okay.
Dirty Target.
All right.
So, Robbie, why did I have to talk about this?
We still have no idea how to play code names.
Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. The Spy Master says cleavage 2. Can you find 2 words related to cleavage for the win? And there's a whole bunch of. This is too hard.
This is stupid.
This is too hard.
The dumbest thing ever. Callie, why'd you put that in the outline?
I did it.
Thanks so much.
God,
Callie.
I left it off for a reason, you jerks.
All right, from now on, Len, you need to double check Callie's work over here.
I hate all of you. All right. New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers, Showtime, and MGM have announced a deal reached with the Tolkien estate to adapt the Silmarillion into multiple films and a premium television series on Showtime.
Yes!
The first film is going straight into production with a targeted release date of December 13th, 2018.
More Lord of the Rings. I'm good. I don't give a shit. I loved The Hobbit.
Have you?
Oh, I love The Hobbit too.
Have you read the Silmarillion?
Yeah, I have actually.
Just a history book.
I know it is.
That's ridiculous.
I know exactly what the Silmarillion is, and
as bad as part 3 of The Hobbit.
You can extrapolate that out into some good shit. I'm interested to see what they would do with the elves. I mean,
oh my god.
It's gonna be good.
What if I'm gay for Tolkien?
Oh my god!
Wow, when were we ever going to get to use that drop?
Yeah, that was
right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
primo drop, man.
Yep.
All right, and now for our wealth of Pokemon Go news.
Hang on. No.
Oh.
I've got one more story. I remembered this just as we were going through, so I'm gonna break a little bit of convention here.
If it's not on the outline, we can't talk about it.
So there's
that's the rule we have.
Nothing has been officially announced, but it looks like Amazon UK has let a new game edition leak once again. As first discovered on Reddit, Amazon UK posted a pre-order page for Metal Gear Solid 5 Definitive X Edition. The listing has since been removed, but it was rather empty with no info other than a placeholder release date of December 31st, 2016. Speculation is running high that Definitive X Edition could include both Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, or perhaps it only consists of The Phantom Pain and all of the game's DLC. Or perhaps all of the above. Konami has confirmed nothing on this apparent leak, but we do know that there is going to be a Definitive X version of Metal Gear Solid 5 Interesting.
That's an interesting name, also.
An X version.
Well,
Definitive X.
The thing is that what I had noticed on the day one release is that they had marked all of the games as, release day or, initial release. I always suspected that there was going to be a second release. So the question is, what is that second release going to contain? Is it going to contain anything that the original game didn't? Is it going to finally maybe include Mission 21? We don't know.
Oh, God, that would be so awesome.
There's a ton of speculation about it right now, so we're going to be...
Don't even tease me. I didn't even think of that.
A whole new chance for Konami to disappoint you.
God damn it.
Seriously.
Anyway, just wanted to share that quick find. I found that like yesterday, so I forgot that I did not post that along with everything else. So yes, now Pokemon Go.
All right, so just how good is Pokemon Go doing in the mobile game market? On July 10th, it accounted for more in-app buys than the entirety of the rest of the mobile gaming market. On the same day, it accounted for 47% of total revenue in the mobile gaming market.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really is a juggernaut, and it's not only because it's so popular and so many people are playing it, but the way that they've structured in-app purchases to make it like you kind of need them.
You have to.
At a point.
If you want to be effective and efficient,
yeah.
People
It's
who
like
walk around
unless-
hatch 3 eggs at a time, what are you doing with your life? Seriously?
9 eggs at a time or GTFO.
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually
I
that's
don't buy
fair.
those.
No, I do.
But-
I do.
Nika.
How do you
Nika,
not?
you fool.
No wonder you only have 12
fool.
Pokemon.
Yeah, how many 10K eggs have you ever seen?
I've never seen a 10K.
Then don't complain about it if you're not clearing out your fucking egg inventory.
I've hatched 13 10K
I usually hatch 2 or 3 at a time.
Have you seen?
Yeah, but that's not 9.
Robbie, have you seen a Kabuto in there at all?
Not yet.
Oh, that is heartbreaking.
I've gotten a few repeats, though. I've gotten Jinx twice. I've gotten...
Oh, gross.
I know. Jinx, come on.
Right?
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. All right.
So from the desk of news, I can't believe I'm reporting PokeDates has launched. The dating service.
Cool idea, though.
Robbie!
You know what? It does not work.
Just listen.
The dating service allows you to find and coordinate a Pokemon Go date with other users in the area. You answer a few questions for matchmaking purposes, and when you meet someone you like, you can coordinate your schedules and choose a gym or Pokestop to meet up at. Perhaps the most shocking thing about this service, though, is the price point, which sits at $20 per date.
That's insane.
Do you know any women who hate themselves enough to actually date me?
I sat here thinking about how ridiculous this was until I realized that for like 2 weeks now, every single time my girlfriend and I have hung out, all we do is go on Pokewalks. That's all we do.
Well, look, I have it downloaded, okay? And you match just like on Tinder.
Oh my God.
What? For research purposes.
Yeah. Hey, you're hot or not
I just
out.
swipe everybody to the right.
Right.
And then if I match with somebody that is ugly, I'll just unmatch them. But the point is, since I've gotten it, which has been for like 2 weeks, I haven't matched with a single person yet. And there's only like 1 or 2 a day
honey,
that
I'm
pop up,
sorry.
and then it's like, sorry, we're still growing. Check back later.
Because no one's using it. Because everyone looks at that and goes, no.
Yeah, why? First of all, $20 price point. $20 price point. That's insane. Second of all, why bother? Because if you just go to where Pokestops are, like there are people to meet there.
Melky Thera points out $20 is like a lot of Pokecoins.
It really is.
Like that.
That's how much I would probably spend on the date. If I'm paying that much just to meet you, guess what? We're going somewhere cheap.
But the date would be free.
Yeah, the dates you go around and play Pokemon Go.
Because you're just playing Pokemon.
But then you have to get something to eat.
Okay, for
Well,
starters, just so
okay.
everyone knows, if you're gonna date me, you're definitely gonna buy me some fucking Poke coins so I can get a whole bunch of incubators. Okay, step 1, bro.
Because, and that's only if you want to get some eggs fertilized.
Look, it really helps living in Safari Zone because it's like I can go, hey, I've got a Growlithe spawn like that will hit.
Officer, he told me he had a Dratini nest.
Oh my God.
I've had more people over to my apartment like in the last 4 weeks than I have the entire time that I've lived here. So yeah.
I'm so jelly.
Still hasn't gotten laid.
I'd like to see this commercial.
That is
if they made
not
a
true.
commercial.
It's highly suspect.
Right?
This is ridiculous. Michigan lawmakers have sent a letter to Niantic inquiring about concerns on how much data Pokemon Go uses, claiming many users are churning through their entire month's data in a week or so. So this is what it takes to get Michigan lawmakers up in arms about something. Never mind poisonous water.
First of all, yeah, right. Okay, that's a good point. Second of all, I don't feel like it uses that much data.
I have not had any problems with the data use.
No.
It doesn't. But you have to, like, I don't know. I was saying that it doesn't. It uses about as much as, like, if you're an avid Facebook user, it uses about the same amount of data. However, CERN and I share a data plan, and ever since I got CERN to download it, we did hit our data cap.
Do you guys use Wi-Fi when you can?
Yeah, that was part of it, is that I always turn off my Wi-Fi when I leave, because, like, when I'm in that weird limbo, when I leave my apartment, it, like, tries to connect, and I forgot to turn it back on a few times. And, like, sometimes I leave it on when I'm in, like, dead stop traffic to try to count those few steps for my eggs and stuff. And so I really shouldn't do that, because that uses up data when it's on nonstop. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a few things I can do to cut back on it, but if you're not thinking about it, you can hit your cap.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I just got a warning today that I'm close to my cap, and I still have like another 15 days to go, so like halfway through the month. But I've also not been using Wi-Fi like at all.
See, but the thing is, I sort of feel like there's like a secondary effect, because, you know, people are walking away. You know, first of all, they're walking away from Wi-Fi, you know, where they normally have Wi-Fi in their home. And it's generally, you're not just using Pokemon Go unless you're trying to conserve battery. I'll listen to music while I'm walking around too.
Yeah.
And it's those types of things, you know, like the streaming apps that I wouldn't use necessarily sitting around at my home, but because I'm out, you know, Pokemon hunting.
I mean, even if you just have Facebook notifications on,
Yeah.
it's constantly refreshing your Facebook to get the notifications and that kind of stuff.
Right, absolutely.
What's amazing to me is how many businesses are making use of this, like to get people in there. There's a bar near my house that says on the, like, it's got one of the signs on the outside of it that says free Wi-Fi inside. Pikachu spotted here 7/23/16.
I actually saw another sign on Facebook that was like 10% off if you catch any Pokemon in our store, 20% off if you catch these specific Pokemon in our store.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I feel like that's someone who plays, who's like, I really want to know if this is up, and I don't want to have to look at my phone that often. So you get 20% off if I need one more Oddish.
It was like a Staryu, Execute, Snorlax, and something else.
Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. Yeah, no, businesses are using this to their advantage hugely.
Maybe politicians could use this to get Pokemon Go to the polls.
Somebody hit him. Seriously, no.
That was the stupidest thing he's ever said.
Somebody hit him.
That was appropriate. Bounced a Pikachu off of his head. Ugh. Gross. Ugh. Anyway.
Gag. All right. Reddit user FTB Hodor has become the first to complete the North American Pokedex, amassing 142 of the original 151. He caught over 4,000 Pokemon and hatched 303 eggs on his way, and now only lacks Mew, Mewtwo, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Ditto, Farfetch, Kangaskhan, and Mr. Mime.
Chris, would you like to take this one?
I just can't even care anymore because I've heard this.
Okay, I'm going to care. I'm going to then.
Thank you.
Fuck that guy.
Yes.
Fuck that guy. You are not a Pokemon master.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Mr. Mime, okay? We don't expect you to and fly over the ocean, but you can hatch them out of 5K eggs. So you better get on your bike.
10K.
You better go to some Pokestops. And you better ride up and down the road because I do not acknowledge you.
Oh,
I'm actually surprised that he's hatched so many eggs and never got any of those.
Can you
are
imagine
they only from 10K?
No, fives.
They're from fives?
They're from fives.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Well, you know what? Those are the most common, so that's good.
Yeah, I get 5Ks all the time.
43 Pokemon that can come out of a 5K egg, so you have like a 3.2% chance of getting the one you want.
Yeah.
How heartbreaking it would be to hatch a Tauros. You're like, no.
2 of them.
Oh
wow. Damn.
Well, I guess you know then.
I don't know if you guys saw what I did. What I posted the other day is we decided to just randomly go down to the shopping center, and there was a Tauros, and we like searched it out, and I was like, yeah, I caught my first Tauros, and then within the next 20 minutes of just walking around the shopping center, we caught 2 more Tauros.
Yeah.
In that shopping center.
Not all that
nuts.
I yesterday at my house, I was hitting double spawns like half my day,
and they were all in different spawn points.
Yeah,
so it was like, holy moly.
I had a Squirtle spawn back to back on me. I had a Charmander.
I got 2 or 3 Squirtles.
Charmander spawn back to back on me, and what was the other? I had a Ghastly spawn back
Yeah, we had Ghastlies. Nice. The only thing I don't really see much, I don't see Charmanders. I've seen Bulbasaurs and Squirtles all over. No Charmanders.
Never seen the Charmander.
We had a moment the other night. I was driving by my old elementary school and my phone vibrated, so I pulled over and checked it, and there was 4 Squirtles on the screen popped up.
Damn.
You can go fuck yourself.
Yep. Caught all 4 of them.
No, I'm like super salty about this war turtle that got away from me though. I found a war turtle. It was like 600 something CP. I was so excited to like skip the middleman and just evolve the war turtle. And then I ran out of Pokeballs. I clicked on the shop. It errored out. I had to reboot the app. War turtle was still there. I'm like, yes. I click on the shop, buy the balls. War turtle's gone.
Oh,
I am 35 Charmander candies into my Charmeleon. I'm
nice.
A quarter done with my Charizard.
Are those from eggs or from finding him?
That is from finding him. I've never hatched a Charmander. I've hatched a Bulbasaur and a Pikachu in terms of starters. I've never hatched a Charmander. So, yeah, those have just been catches. And most of my catches are around here. So, you know, to compare to the guy who finished off the North American Pokedex, I'm at 130. I'm sitting at 130, and that's just what I catch mostly around my house.
No, you're sitting in a fucking Safari Zone.
I am. This is Safari Zone.
Okay, if I remember correctly in the article, though, this guy, I'm pretty sure that he was, you know that video that went around of all the people chasing after the Vaporeon?
Yes.
There's apparently, just outside Central Park, there's this one block that has like 5 Pokestops, all within very close proximity to each other.
And
that are always lured.
Yep.
This guy, I think this guy is from there, and he basically just spent like...
He said how many miles he walked and stuff, though. Like, he did a lot.
Yeah, well, okay, all you have to do is go around the block.
Well, but
that's true.
He lives in New York City. Yeah. I mean, like, if we do know that the way that Pokemon are spawned are based on cell data usage. You can see a lot of these data maps in Ingress, and so knowing that. Of course, New York City, everywhere you go is going to be a hotspot. Like,
that makes sense, because I was wondering why like apartment complexes always had like 3 or 4 that would pop in there, and then like a random ass shopping center with like a TJ Maxx and 7-Eleven or whatever had like 20 Pokemon.
Yeah,
if you think about it, everyone's shopping. That makes sense. I didn't even realize.
If you load up Ingress, there are like data orbs that you can absorb by walking around, and those are the same data points that they've used for spawn points. And we know from sites like PokeVision that there is a rotation to each one of the spawns. There's a logic, like if you live against landmarks or next to a park, it'll start spawning specific stuff. And then we also know that once something is up, it's up in that spot for 15 minutes. I think there's 11-minute timers and then 8-minute timers.
Yeah, some of the rare ones are smaller, I think.
Right.
Check out this Poke nerd.
I mean, like, I've spent a lot of time with it.
Hey,
I've spent a lot of time doing research.
Poke Nate.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you about the world of Pokemon.
Nate's the new Poke professor.
Are you a girl?
Hey, I'm so close to being Professor Aniro. Get the fuck out of here. All right. So, is there any more news?
Just one bit left.
Okay.
It has been confirmed that the EV name trick works, which allows players to force their EV into the proper evolution by naming them either Pyro, Sparky, or Rainer. But more exciting is that Niantic has also announced there are tricks we have yet to discover, which has just triggered off a flurry of theories.
Yes.
And some of them are really cool.
Have you guys read about the Ditto theories, like the people looking for Ditto?
Yeah.
People are ridiculous like
that you have to like catch one and it will turn into Ditto or something like.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Ones
There's
like the weight,
all kinds of shit.
I was reading one that like no one apparently has. I don't know if it's been tested yet, but you have to make a new trainer named Duplica, which was the girl's name in the show.
Oh, I remember.
And start off with Pikachu as your starter, and it will be a Ditto.
Oh, but has anyone actually? I feel like that's easy enough.
Unconfirmed.
To try,
I don't know. I haven't confirmed it.
No one's found one yet. I mean, I know that they've went around trying to name everything Ditto.
Yep.
Trying to fight certain things with certain names in gyms, looking at the Pokemon as they're catching to see if they have like the Ditto eyes.
Yep.
Jeez.
Evolving them in certain ways.
Technically, though, they're the only. Like, I was actually talking with my sister about this, and I thought that every Ditto had Ditto eyes, but apparently it was just her Ditto because her Ditto sucked.
Yeah,
and it created the Ditto eyes. So most Dittos create perfect copies. So, I mean, there's so many theories about the original Ditto from the Pokemon anime and stuff that Ditto is like a failed clone of Mew, and that's why it can learn all these different moves. So I wonder if that's why it's still considered like legendary, because it could have any moves and you can't find it yet, and it might not actually be in the game yet.
Maybe you have to get the other 150 before you can get Ditto.
Someone was showing me on the item menu, like basically when you hit the Pokeball and bring up that menu, I think if you hold it or something, each one of the like the Pokemon shop items, it glows a different color.
Yeah, you get the pester balls.
I can't get it to do that, really.
Mine
like
doesn't.
Glows a different color?
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I don't know. He showed it to me the other day, and I was like, I can't get I haven't been able to duplicate it, but there's been theories that something with that may spawn a Ditto. I love the fact that there's Easter eggs and stuff that we don't know. That's always fun. So,
all right, and last but not least, if I can get back up there. There we go. Niantic CEO John Hanke has hinted that apps like PokeVision, PokeNotify, and PokeRadar may not be long for this world, as Niantic does recognize them as violations of the terms of service. They say that while their attention is diverted elsewhere right now, likely to improving server functionality and fixing the much maligned 3-paw glitch, we shouldn't be surprised if those services shut down in the near future. In an update to that story, PokeVision is currently down, with the developers saying on Twitter, quote, "Hey guys, we wish we had some news for you. At this moment, we are respecting Niantic and Nintendo's wishes. We will keep you posted."
So we were actually going to talk about this before the show, and then this happened like last night. So first of all, there was an update push for the app last night.
Yep.
And I've noticed a couple of changes so far. I feel like some of the graphics have been turned down just a hair.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed if you open the Pokemon list, they're actually clearer. I think when you look at your whole list of Pokemon, they're a little bit sharper. But if you look at like a gym and the Pokemon that's in the gym, like their name and their CP is really fuzzy. It actually hurts my eyes.
The font has been changed. I know that for sure.
The font is definitely bolder.
They changed also a couple of menu pieces in there. The way that you transfer Pokemon is a little bit easier now, but it has a couple additional clicks.
They gave some
It's so much easier, though.
Yeah, I agree. But real quick, I kind of wanted to spend a minute, and there's a couple of specific things that really drive me nuts about the app and about the game overall, and I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about that. The obvious one is the 3-step glitch, and now the no-step glitch, which is in a lot of ways.
It's not even a glitch; they did it on purpose.
Yeah,
they just amputated the problem.
They fixed it.
Shut up.
But I think it takes load off the servers while they're still rolling it out to other regions. That's what I heard is the reason for all of that.
Well, yeah, I've heard that justification too, but it really, there are people who are saying that it makes the game nigh on unplayable. And I kind of agree with that. It does, for someone who's trying to hunt something specific, it really does make it very frustrating. And I'm fortunate enough to live in a really, great hotspot, and that's my advantage. But I mean, like, I feel bad for anyone, like you guys, you just live in Weedle Pidgey area.
True, but this is what I'm going to say about that, because Chris has actually stopped playing it. I still play it every single day, and I'm always wanting to go out and walk around, because if you actually go to a spot like downtown Flint, for example, where Main Street is like lit up with Pokestops and with lures, and just walk around, rare stuff is gonna spawn. I've never seen a dugong before, and then when I was up the other day with our roommate, suddenly boom, there's a dugong, right? I mean, you mentioned how it's based, spawns are based off of cell data, right?
Yeah.
And they've said that the more trainers you have in one location, the more chances you're going to have of rare Pokemon
that is true.
Up. That also encourages you to group with people and play with people.
And
lures
are in incense are force spawns, and we don't actually know what impacts those at all.
Right. And while you're right, it is very difficult to go out and look for a specific one that you want. You can still go out and walk around and maybe find them. And that was actually one of the reasons, because the whole PokeVision, blah, 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 all those things, you're right. Great resource for finding them. But the fun that it took out of it for me was the excitement and just the absolute, like, majesty of walking downtown and seeing my first Dratini pop, like, out in person. I freaked out.
Yeah.
And, looking at PokeVision and being like, all right, there's a Dratini. Like, however you're so excited you're going to get it. but it's not the same as finding one naturally and organically out in the wild when you.
I agree, but the thing is that if they're not fixing their own radar, their own step radar, which they implemented in the game, if their priority is not to fix that, then I think shutting down the third-party apps at the same time that you remove all the paw prints and say we're waiting to fix this is really a slap in the face.
Well,
hang on. Way to track anything.
Let's be clear. They did in the update. They did change something about the API that throttled a lot of those services through the API, and there was this discussion about, is PokeVision cheating? Is that inherently cheating? Some people were saying it's justified while the tracker is down. Other people were saying, in my opinion of it, was that it's just great third-party development, and if the tools are there, if the API tools exist, it's on Niantic. It's contingent on Niantic to shut those down, which it seems like they have. What they did, as far as I know, PokeVision stopped operating willingly. When they read the article and the statement from the president of Niantic to Forbes, they took the initiative and said, okay, this is a clear indication from what Niantic wants from its community. We're violating that. We're going to shut it down. So I don't think that even the president of Niantic necessarily meant to shut those services down last night in that update, but that that is essentially what happened. And it is unfortunate that the tracker doesn't work, because I think that services like Vision were really, really useful in the time that the tracker has been broken. And I'm even myself, I don't have that much work that I have to do to be able to pop stuff and find out what's around. And usually if I force pop, just by walking around in my parking lot, there's good stuff that's worth catching.
I know where most of my spawns are too. Like, I have a pool in the center of my apartment, and every time there's a water Pokemon, there's like 4 spawns around the pool. I just go up and walk around the pool. They all pop.
Yeah,
sure. Like, at the same time though, like, he's talked about like the majesty of that moment when you see a Pokemon that you haven't seen before. I had that the other night when on my radar, my Snorlax appeared. Snorlax for me is Kabutops for you. It's
right.
It's the one that I've wanted since the game started.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw him on the radar, I freaked out. I ran around to every rare spawn in the area that I knew of. Couldn't find him. Couldn't use he had 3 paws, so I couldn't use the in-game app to find where he was.
Right.
I checked on PokeVision. He wasn't on there anymore. He had depopped. I was bummed. I was heartbroken. Went home. Was like, oh crap. Found him again on PokeVision like 5 minutes later. He respawned in another spot. We went over, sat down in the CVS parking lot at 11 at night. It's closed. There's no one there. The building's off, except we just see this line of cars streaming into the parking lot. And soon, like, the parking lot's more than half full of cars. No one getting out of their cars. Everyone just flipping Pokeballs on their screen, trying to catch the Snorlax. And I'm like, that's a cool moment that should have been perfectly doable in the game with the resources that the game gives you if it worked properly, but it doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
Something else to be noted, too, they didn't just take the 3-paw glitch out. Apparently the nearby radar now shows Pokemon within a 70-yard radius of you instead of a 100-yard radius of you. So they've effectively cut the area that the nearby shows.
But what I heard is that they will stay popped on the screen for a longer distance, though. So, like, once you find them and you start to walk farther away from them, they'll stay there.
Not just that. No, well, that I think has to do with the caching, because once something caches into your nearby, it doesn't leave. It doesn't leave. I've had a Phantom Squirtle that's been bothering my nearby list all day, and it means that one was up nearby at one point, but it's gone. And I mean, I used PokeVision a lot. I'm not sad to, I'm not embarrassed to admit that. I used it quite a bit, and it helped because it allowed me to disconnect from the game for a little bit and sort of monitor what was up and know where I needed to go. Now I feel like I have to keep the game loaded all the time because the nearby list is the only thing that's accurate, even remotely accurate.
You know what? It's not even always accurate. Not. Like, even like I noticed that there were things that would be up on PokeVision that were not on my nearby list.
Absolutely.
And I would be within like 5 feet of it. And I was like, well, PokeVision says, like, I caught my only Growlithe I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like PokeVision says there's a Growlithe in my parking lot. My nearby list literally has 2 Pidgeys on it. Like, what? I walked like 10 feet over, and sure enough, there's a Growlithe.
Yep.
And I'm like, how can I? Even if it would have said 3 steps, so a false positive is better than not showing it at all. Because I would be so pissed to totally miss your Growlithe.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that blew, I was very confused by that.
There are some very frustrating aspects to this game, and the nearby list is just right at the top. But it's really unfortunate that Niantic is taking the approach to the third-party development that they are, because I think that they could, if they embraced tools like this, I don't understand what it's hurting. I don't think it's hurting anyone to be able to find out what is up and near you, because you've only got 15 minutes to go get it anyway.
And as long as you still go, but I feel like I'm pretty sure that people who are using the GPS hack use the coordinates that you can get from PokeVision.
That
to
is
GPS
true.
Hack.
Well,
Because when you search an area, the coordinates pop up in the link.
The GPS hack is was the single most annoying thing, and that was the clear cheating part.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing that Niantic really needed to come down on. And it's weird that instead of addressing the GPS hack, they come out and straight up name PokeVision PokeRadar. That I think kind of sucks, because
can they actually put a stop to the GPS hacking?
They can monitor it and issue bans.
I was watching some people on Twitch streaming this and flat out admitting it was really weird community and atmosphere to watch. But there were apparently the game, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but if you teleport somewhere totally not where you are and interact with anything like a Pokemon or a Pokestop or a gym, it soft bans you to the point where you can't click on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would what were they doing? They were teleporting, clicking on the Pokemon and then teleporting back before they caught it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't register you as actually teleporting. So
Right.
I'm not sure what they would have to change in their main frame of their server in order for that to register as them still clicking on a Pokemon nowhere near them.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, you can accidentally, I know sometimes my GPS cuts out while I'm moving, and then all of a sudden my character's in a different place.
Yeah.
Or I'll just be in my elevator, and sometimes my character jumps across the street, and I get to use a Pokestop I'm nowhere near.
Well,
is that going to end up counting me as cheating and
Exactly.
soft ban me? It's hard to figure out what their server would be able to read in their code, and who it would actually accidentally soft banning or completely banning innocent people.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, we've talked about this on Limit Break Radio before, that the behavior has to be, 100% verifiably bannable, and with issues like that, and that's those, when you're dealing with a range of hardwares, you're gonna have issues like that. You can't ban for that, especially the end user, and that's what I sort of liked about PokeVision, and that's why I felt safe using it, is because you didn't have to log in to use it. The information was dead on accurate. And, since it wasn't your account making the API call, there's really no way that they can cross-reference that info. And if they ban you for visiting a website, that's kind of some fucked up draconian shit right there. That kind of takes it to another, big weird level and raises a whole bunch more questions. So, I understand why they can't really do a whole lot about GPS spoofers and GPS glitchers, but coming out and with this strong statement against PokeVision, I thought that it was a tool that was almost necessary, to be able, because
Without the three-step radar, without any kind of radar, literally just says, there are these Pokemon somewhere around here, and I know my nearby list gets things that are all the way across the street that aren't really nearby me.
Right.
So without any kind of radar, you can't, I don't know. I'm a little bummed.
Look, guys, nobody said that becoming a Pokemon Master was going to be easy.
Right, all these things they're complaining about, I'm just sitting here being just go and walk till you find them.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Pokemon in the real world, right? Augmented reality, right?
Pokemon go outside.
Not just that, because obviously they're going outside to catch them, but how real is it if you're getting online and being okay, there it is.
Yeah, but
let me drive to that location.
Let me tell you. Okay, so I finished off my Alakazam. Right, first of all, that's kind of an accomplishment, but most of that was Abercatches. I did get a good Kadabra in there that I ended up evolving. So I was the night that I got to 100. I was sitting at like 95 candies, and I had one pop down in the courtyard, and it ran on me, and I was, I know, dude. I was so salty.
You gotta.
I know.
I was so salty.
Teleport, bro.
Dude, it was all the time for Abras, all the time. Raspberry Ultra Ball, not even fucking around with a Great Ball. Always raspberry.
I did that for a Squirtle once. 3 raspberries, 3 Ultra Balls, and it ran.
But
a 159 CP Squirtle.
Yeah,
he knows what's up. He's part of the Squirtle squad.
But here's so. I that made me so, and but it also made me very motivated because I was like, I want to finish this fucker off, and so for like an hour and a half, 2 hours as I'm going to bed, I'm watching my radar, right, and I'm almost about to go to sleep, and I see it pop down next to the gas station across the street, right, and I'm like, I can drive that. I can definitely drive that, but there was only 7 minutes left on it. I'm like, fuck. I turned down one wrong street, and then I turned down another wrong street. I popped it with 1 minute left, and I caught it. And, there's no way that I could have gotten to it on foot. There's no way that it would have even showed up in my nearby. And it was a good catch. You know what I mean? It motivated me not necessarily to go out for a walk, but it motivated me to play the game, and it motivated me to keep tuned into the game because I was like, I want that Alakazam. I want that fucking Alakazam. But if I'm stuck around here, then I'm not going to be as tuned into it. You know what I mean? I feel like the potential to even, not, as Nico was saying, to not even see it come up on your nearby, that is what drives me
even
fucking
when it's
crazy.
Right next to you, like that Growlithe. I parked my car, and that Growlithe was like a few parking spots down.
Yeah.
And it was not on my nearby list. Yet there was something on my nearby list that was all the way across the other side of the pool, which makes no sense.
That happens to me all the time with Bellsprouts in my area. Like, I have Bellsprouts that will not be on my nearby list, and they'll pop on me. I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah, obviously, in a perfect world, yes, we want the tracker to work. But with the tracker not working, for me, the best thing to do is to just go out and walk around and adventure around and see what's going on, and all kinds of cool things will pop. I mean, I've pretty much seen every kind of base thing at this point.
But that also hinders on you being able to get to a fairly populated area. Like, I know that if I feel like walking around, I can go to that shopping center and I'll be able to find a bunch of stuff. But not everyone has a spot worth a lot of Pokemon. Like, you're gonna walk 2 miles and find one pop.
Chances are those people are facing a bigger problem than just, we don't have a good place to go. I mean, one of the things that Niantic said early on was they want people in rural areas to be able to play it just as much as people in metro areas.
And they can't. And that's the thing is that they can't.
Even if they had the tracker, and even if the tracker worked perfectly, they're still not going to be able to, because all they have is Rattatas and Pidgeys. Because of this whole idea that the more cell data you have, the rarer spawns you get. Well, then that means that people with no cell data get crap, and that needs to be changed.
Well, but that method of programming makes sense, because essentially all they did was they took Ingress and they put a Pokemon catching mini game on top of it. Right. So instead of automatically just collecting these data orbs and having that add to whatever arbitrary point it is, instead they put like an MMO pop timer on all of these data points, and that's what dictates the spawn points. Because the other option is to have people hand place where Pokemon spawn and where these spawns happen. You can't do that.
It's so labor intensive.
That's So that it makes sense to organize it that way. But I do think that it does present a problem for people in rural areas, and I can totally understand the burnout. Right? Like, I can totally understand how someone who doesn't live in an active area or near an active area that's, walkable, is frustrated playing this game. I totally get it.
Some dude's sitting there with a 1700 CP Pidgeot, and he's just like, ugh.
Right? I
have the best Pidgeot in the world.
I found a 703 or something Pidgeot in the wild. I was freaking out.
Bird trainer Clem is getting sick of all them Pidgeys and Spearows.
So one of the other things that I've noticed with the update is that catching is a lot different. Like,
yes,
the perspective, like each
is it
the where you're zoomed is different.
Yeah.
They have. I feel like they've removed the forced curve.
I don't curveball anymore. Yeah.
Finally, yes.
Oh, really?
Oh God, finally.
But the thing is, hang on.
I was using raspberries would do that.
Yeah, because I've been using raspberries and they haven't been auto curving.
Yep.
But
to curving it on purpose to correct for that.
And I feel like it was to make you waste balls. It was a method to make you waste inventory, so you end up purchasing more. But what I've noticed is that since they changed that, Pokemon have been busting my balls all the like. It will take 5 or 6 balls where it would take 2. Or 9 or 10 where it would have taken 5.
I've actually noticed that my Pokemon stay in my balls a lot more at like CPs like 4 and 600.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I've been noticing. That the higher CP ones aren't breaking out as much, but the lower CP ones are breaking out more.
See,
no, that's the opposite for me.
I feel like these are all just things that we're perceiving, because I have very rarely, like I could count probably on one hand how many times a Pokemon has broken out more than 10 times.
Really? I've had quite a few do that.
I mean, sometimes I just miss them.
That 700 Pidgeot. No, that 700 Pidgeot broke out at least 20 times, I want to say. I had a Golbat break out over 10 times the other day.
Oh, God. I had a Parasect being an ass the other day.
After like 5 balls, I just wanted to run away.
Even when hitting the little spot that says excellent, it would still break out.
Yeah,
Did you ever tell them about your Poliwag encounter?
All right, so me and Robbie went up to Frankenmuth for a Pokewalk. And there's a Poliwag next to the brewery.
I caught it in 1 ball, by the way.
He caught it in 1 ball.
Just a Poliwag.
A Poliwag, nondescript Poliwag. Wasn't a 10 CP. Wasn't like 600 CP. Just a Poliwag.
Something.
It was a Poliwag. I threw literally like 6 or 7 balls, just Pokeballs at it. Wasn't catching it. Kept on breaking out. So I started upgrading to raspberries and great balls. Kept breaking out. So I eventually started throwing. I threw 3 Ultra Balls at it. It still broke out with raspberries, so I said, fuck it. I walked away from it.
Hold on, he's leaving out part of the story. When he switched to Great Balls, it jumped over 3 balls in a row.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
God.
Jump, 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 and then headbutt.
Oh,
I was driving around with a coworker the other night, and we came across this Parasect. And I didn't really need a Parasect, but I'm like, all right, well, I'll catch. I need 3 more Paras candies, whatever.
Yeah.
I went through, and I kid you not, 20 Great Balls, 20 Ultra Balls, and 20 Pokeballs before it ran.
Wow.
Whoa.
I feel like mine are running faster.
Ridiculous.
I feel like mine are running faster today, too.
Like, I don't even care if it runs. I just want it to go away and off of my screen. Like, if I run away from it, I want it to leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to see
that's
it
the
ever
thing.
again.
If I run away from it and it sits there and taunts me, I can't.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, when you were like, I don't care. I don't care if you Eradicate.
Here's how you fix
the most
Hang on. Donation, asshole.
Is where a Rattata broke out of Pokemon.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Robbie, when I say donation, asshole, that means that the voice is reading a donation. How do you not have this up? It's gone now. You talked right the fuck over it.
I'm opening it so I can hear the other words. Sorry.
God damn.
But have you guys seen that comic where the guy gets right up in like the Pidgey's face and he's like, "Don't make this personal."
No.
Because that's how it gets to me.
Good story.
If something, especially a low-level thing, starts breaking out of a ball, at that point, it's about principle. You are going to be ground up into a tiny little delicious candy if it's the last thing I do.
That's how my Parasect was. 20 Great Balls and 10 Ultra Balls in. I was like, well, I'm not running away from him now.
No, exactly. It's like I didn't really need that Golbat, but like after, CERN's way lower level, so his wasn't as high CP, and he caught his, after like 1 or 2 balls, and I'm like, 5, 6, 7, just keep going. I'm like, at this point, I've wasted so many. If I ran away, what would it be for? For nothing.
No, okay, so. You guys, that's literally a gambler's fallacy. You guys are like psychologically owning yourselves.
No, that's not
cut your losses.
No,
if it's nothing that you need.
Yes,
he's completely right.
I'm literally honestly anymore. I'm literally catching for Stardust.
Like seriously,
Stardust and candy. That's it.
Callie.
Yeah.
Would you ever throw a fucking Ultra Ball at a Paris?
No.
Why would you throw 20? It doesn't matter. Principle.
Because I'd already gone through 20 Great Balls.
Zeros.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Stop triggering me.
And that's the thing. Well, dude, they have real value. There is a real value that's attached to them, especially because you can't even buy the Great and Ultra Balls.
Yeah.
You have to go collect them from stops. So,
which is very smart on Niantic's part.
yeah, the way the way that they've structured the incentives is brilliant. It's shockingly brilliant. It's effective because it does, like, if you're in a situation where you're in for the night but you've burned through all your Pokeballs, you will spend money on Pokeball. You will.
Oh yeah.
You will.
Been there.
I haven't spent money on Pokeballs since the first week.
Yeah. In a while, I haven't spent money on it, so thankfully.
Because
right now, guys,
I've been spending money on everything else.
Don't you guys
151 Great Balls, and I still have Pokeballs to go through.
I see you post on Facebook every other day asking for people to go on Pokewalks. Like, I don't have that much, I don't know, like, time or people to go.
Oh, do you have a life, Nika? Is that what you're saying?
It's summertime. You're not teaching right now.
Okay, but I also have no one to go with, and I'm not going to go walk around town by myself.
You're married.
So you're a loser. That's what you're saying.
I'm married to someone who's in dental school.
I agree.
So it's. I mean, so just in the end of it, it comes down to just like if you actively find time to go out and find places with a lot of Pokestops, sure. I have one Pokestop that I have to go out in my parking lot, which is down 10 floors and across the parking lot to get to. Okay, I get that one every so often, but like, I don't know. Like, I'm actually going out tomorrow for the only sole reason of catching Pokemon. So we'll see how many Great Balls I end up with, but I don't know.
See, the way that I do it, I go out to hit stops, and I
Stop run.
Yeah, I do stops as much as possible, and then I come back and catch, and I don't catch anywhere. There's two spots that I catch. I
hate you.
I know. I catch at my house, and then I catch. There's one spot on Belle Isle that has 3 clustered stops right next to each other and always has lures. So you can go there and just force pop stuff over and over and over again. And I feel like anymore, like, Kabuto is one that does spawn around here. It's my great white fucking whale is that Kabutops.
I hope you never get it.
There is a Kabuto that spawns around here. It usually spawns very early in the morning, and it's like a 50-50 shot whether or not it spawns into my building enough where I wouldn't have to try to trespass to get it. And I've trespassed twice to try to get them, and I missed 2.
The game tells you not to trespass now.
Oh,
not.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I got in my car on the way home and turned it on. It said, "Do not drive while playing."
Yeah.
Get you.
It actually said that?
Yes, it does say that now.
Yeah.
It gives you a little
I've
warning
seen it
whenever
say,
you
do
log
not
in.
wander into dangerous places or something like that.
I've seen
it changes
drive
every time.
One time while I was driving.
By the way, I do want to thank Mr. Jack for that donation that said, "Here's how to fix your curveball glitch. Get good at throwing curveballs." So.
Amen. Like, when that was like going on all the time, I started to get really good at throwing curveballs.
I started curveballing on purpose just to make sure that I knew. And well, then of course when I'd curveball, it would go perfectly straight for me.
I hated that. Right? That was so frustrating.
Yes,
I can't curve at all.
I love how now when a Pokemon breaks out, there's now a text that says the Pokemon broke free.
It's kind of annoying.
As if you didn't know.
Yeah, like,
no, I actually don't love it.
So unnecessary.
It's like it's taunting you.
Yeah,
it's not necessary.
Yeah. So
another thing that they changed with this latest update is there was a trick you could do before, where when the Pokemon's really close, you just quickly flick your ball and catch it that way because it's really close. Really easy to get excellence and greats when you throw the Pokeball.
Okay, yeah.
Now you can't throw a Pokeball until it's all the way in the back, so fuck you, Niantic.
You know what? That never worked anyway. It just black hole glitched on me.
Yeah. Well, that happened a lot.
How about them Vaporeon nerfs though?
Yeah,
that was nice.
That is good.
Finally,
6 Vaporeons.
Now we might see Pokemon besides Lapras, Vaporeon, and Snorlax at gyms.
Yeah. Are you guys big on gym training? Do you guys do a lot of gym training? Because I have found that now, since my Pokedex is so full and I'm pumping CP up, that I'm doing lots and lots of gym battling.
My problem is I feel like 2 things. I feel like there's not much of an incentive to go and grab and hold gyms, right? Unless you can do a lot of them at a time to get the 100 gold a day. Or I feel like it's easier to take gyms than it is to defend them. Because if you shorten gym time, and even if you have like 6 people training at once, one person can take that gym back so quickly.
Yeah, that I think they need to adjust the amount of gym XP for training there because it really does take too long. I see other red gyms all the time, and I'm like, on the off chance, I always check them. Can I lay one down? Nope.
No, I check too. Yeah.
And because I'm always this is a pretty purposeful pun, but I'm always looking for an easy lay. All right, so I always want to lay something down and you know, like you don't want to have to battle for it. Like,
put some effort into your puns, please.
You don't want to always have to battle for it because the thing is I'm running super low on revives, potions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Thanks, Robbie.
I had like 60 of each, and then I decided to take down a gym and went down to like 20 each by the end of it.
Those
but I was also real time battling people. Like someone would knock me out, I put one in before they could. They knocked me out again, I'd steal it again, and then like someone else took it from me, and then they were on my team, so we were like teamed up. And then by the time like I got my bonus, by the time I got home, it was gone already. Like,
those revives
really can't keep them.
Those revives start going quick when you start using them 6 at a time, trying to get a gym knocked down.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, there's something that's so satisfying about going through an area that's like deep valor. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and I'm like, respect and pride.
That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly. And even though I may not train or lay, you know, a Pokemon down there, it's like there is a little bit of pride. And I'll tell you, I don't always pull over and take over every Mystic gym that I see because that would be insane. But anytime I see that goddamn gold, I'm like, no,
yes,
you get out of here.
Listen,
go
away. My city.
The 2 gyms that I can see, Instinct.
Oh, my
West
city.
Court Street Church of God and the 851 or the 518, whatever the heck it is, 815, both Instinct. It's
oh my God.
Go fix that.
Chris, before we leave today, we
take that gym.
We have to, because look at what the fuck they have there. They have a 129 Magikarp sitting in there, like a fucking that's.
That is so Team Mystic.
People probably do that though, so they can train up the gym easier.
Okay, but Nika, that doesn't make sense. Because you can't take it out.
First of all, this is
training easier.
This is a highly contested gym between me. I live over here, and then there's got to be 2 Mystic guys that live on the other side of that gym. That I'll take it, and then they'll take it, and that we just trade back and forth. That can't stand. I need to fix
That's a declaration of war.
Yeah,
in my city,
I need you to lay down something good. Help me defend this one.
I got Vaporia. Oh.
In my city, the battle lines have been drawn. Like, it is east of Main Street is all Mystic gyms, and they're like level 9 and 10. West of Main Street, all Valor gyms, 9 or 10. And there is one gym in my city that is on Main Street that is a fucking war zone. I have never seen that gym held for more than an hour.
Ferndale's the same way. Ferndale's exactly
What's the highest level gym you've seen?
10.
I've seen a 10.
Oh, you've seen a level 10 gym?
Yeah.
I've seen a level 9.
Yeah.
No, I've seen 10s. I've seen 10s.
How do you see a level 10 gym and think, I'm going to go and take, how do you have enough time?
Oh, see, I can't take those
back
gyms.
a level 10
the thing is that all of the gate guards in my neighborhood are Team Valor, and there is a gym. There is a gym at the entrance of my apartment. Like, it's inside the apartment complex behind the gate. And so, it'll be Mystic for a couple hours, and then as soon as the Valor person takes over for the next, Valor always has this gym 4 days in a row, and it goes up to 10 really fast.
There's
can't control it. It's unfair advantage.
There's a level 10 blue gym in my city that is led by a 2300 Dragonite that has been blue now for probably a week.
Wow.
And it got down to level 8 for a little while, and then in an hour was back up to level 10. That gym is going nowhere.
Wow. Look, I have a Poliwrath that has spent now 5 solid days at a gym. I don't even remember what gym I laid it down at. I kind of want to go back to see who else is defending with me. It's only 1321, so I have to.
Very good.
No, I have to imagine that there's somebody else holding it down. But it was on one of these real late nights where I was just driving around everywhere and laying down whatever I could, and I'm like, fuck, where did I even put you?
I wish you could click on like the little blue icon by them and let it tell you what gym they're in.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. That would be a nice quality of life change.
Especially if you wanted to go back and like keep training it up or something. Like if it told you it's a level whatever, and so you can kind of keep tabs on it. Like if it's a level 10 when you leave, you check it a few hours later and it's a level 6. You're like, shit, I got to go back and help.
So what's your guys' best catch been? Just overall, like either like best catch story. Mine is, and this still blows my mind. I don't know if I told this on the last show. I had caught a Victory Bell on my way out to my car.
Oh, God.
It was a 1441 Victory Bell, and I razzed it and caught it on a first Pokeball that I had thrown out.
Not a great ball.
Not a great ball. Not a great ball. Regular Pokeball.
I was in Frankenmuth with some friends, and there's an area where there's 3 Pokestops in close proximity. We went there to sit down for a half an hour. We lured them all up, and the first thing that spawned for me, I actually put an incense on too.
Right.
And my incense spawned a 997 Ivysaur.
Wow.
And like I'm like, all right, Raspberry Great Ball. He kept breaking out, and I'm like, every time, like, oh god, he's gonna run this time. My other 3 friends that I was with, like, one by one, they came over like, oh man, this is really getting serious. And this was actually probably, I completely forgot about this one. This was the only one that I think has taken more than 10. I switched to Ultra Balls, finally caught it. Oh, my heart was beating so fast.
Yeah.
And I had just evolved an Ivysaur the day before.
Oh, man. 25
candies down the drain.
Somebody confirm this for me, though. Like, when you hit level 20, is that when you start regularly seeing, like, 1K plus in the wild? Because I've yet to find one, and I'm almost...
I don't see many 1K plus, but, like, my EVs, for example, are... constantly, like right now, reliably anywhere from 630 to almost 700.
Yeah.
See, I occasionally see 600s and 700s, but that's rare. My average I find right now is 350 to 450.
Yeah. I also think it depends on the type. Like, you're not going to find a 1K Pidgey or Rattata out there, right? It's
no
not
such
gonna
thing.
No, actually, well, not a Pidgey, but I caught a wild Pidgeot. That was over 1K.
Evolved.
The evolved ones, yeah.
My strongest catch was that like 703 CP Pidgeot. I just found like just on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It was just there. And that's, I don't know. And then I've caught like a couple pincers that were in 600.
Oh, nice.
That's not
the only
bad.
pincers I've gotten have been out of 10K.
But then like my rarest Pokemon was like I managed to find on my birthday, which was awesome. I was just in the mall and there's a bunch of Pokestops in the mall and they're all lures all the time. And a Lickitung spawns.
Wow. So jealous. I want one.
Oh, man.
But it was only like 100 CP, so it's not very strong. I mean, it's cool to have one because not a lot of people have Lickitung.
Yeah, still
and
500
I've never
XP.
seen it since then.
I did the same thing with the Tangela. It was a lure. It was that lure spot on Belle Isle. But I mean, I've never seen anyone else with a Tangela before.
Yeah.
So
I've
I haven't seen anyone catch one.
Oh. And on PokeVision, I've actually seen Tangelas like in the shopping mall on PokeVision. I'm like, I'm not going to drive all the way to the mall. I won't make it.
Yeah.
But I've actually seen them up.
The 2 Tangelas I've seen, not even just me. I mean, I hatched one, and I know a friend has hatched one. And before Nate, before you caught one, I hadn't even heard or seen of any reports
of them in the wild. Yeah.
I've seen them on my nearbys.
My
I'd like
favorite
to read
catch so
something from
far.
the chat really quick. Des Booth says, as a member of Team Instinct, I don't even bother with gyms. If I had known how much of a joke Instinct would be, I wouldn't have chosen it.
Oh my god. Brutal.
I'm not entirely sure how that really
Team
started.
remorse.
Like, it was just all of a sudden people were like, nope, we're just going to shit on this team. But like when the game first started,
How did you not see this coming?
Yeah.
Because red and blue. That's Ash and Gary. That's player 1 and player 2.
Yeah.
Instinct is just like
Pikachu. It's Pikachu. It's everyone. It's everyone who jumped on late. Like it's everyone who was like, "Oh, Pikachu's so adorable," but like the people who bought red and blue were like, "This is legit." You know what I mean?
I know what this is.
Yeah, exactly. So that was obvious. By the way, here, throw that stuffed Pikachu over here. So. My mom had found this in my sister's stuff. This is the most bulbous and bizarre off-brand Pikachu. It's definitely not.
That's a fat.
That's the fat Pikachu from like the card. You remember the first card that came out and had that fat ass Pikachu on it?
Yeah. Red and blue Pikachu was fat.
Yeah.
Aw, he's cute.
No, he's horrible.
He's obese. Okay.
It's like, kill me now. Like just fucking. It's awful.
Stop feeding me puffins.
So yeah, just some fantastic catching stories, and this is kind of cool because Robbie, you had kind of predicted that was going to be a thing.
My
would
best
be of the game.
My best worst catch I did while I was working. Manager Joe, please do not listen to this. I was on the way to. It was nighttime, roughly like 9:30 or so. So it was like dark. I was driving. I don't even see it in my nearby list, but my phone vibrates and I see a 1065 Executor.
Oh,
nice! And I was
those are beasts,
too. Yeah. I was in the neighborhood where my delivery was. Like I was on that street, but I'm like, I gotta stop. So I pull over in the car. My lights are on or whatever. I'm trying to catch it, and then I finally catch it after like a raspberry ultra ball after like 5 great balls.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'm like, all right, I got it. Okay, now I can move on. I check and see where my delivery is. It's across the road. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just turn it here now. And the guy,
I'm sorry, I was looking for your address.
Was he watching you catch it?
Yeah. Watching me in the window.
Did he
Sorry, couldn't find your address. Had to look you up online.
Oh no! Did he call you out on it too?
He was like, couldn't find my house. I just made up some excuse. I'm like, sorry, I couldn't find your house number. So
yeah. Oh my God.
It's dark out here.
That's so funny.
I couldn't own up to it.
That is so funny.
He was old, so he wouldn't.
The most bizarre thing, all right? Because for me, I think the most bizarre thing is how many people who are just getting into it because it's the fad and have no knowledge of Pokemon whatsoever, right?
Sure, yeah.
We were taking our gym, the West Court Street Church, the other day. This is a few weeks ago. And as we're getting ready to leave, this guy walks out of his house, and he walks up to the corner. He has his phone out. Chris pulls up next to him. He's like, roll the window down. So I roll the window down, and he looks over. He goes, are you the ones that sent my Radicore home?
Oh, no.
Like, Radicore.
Yeah, what team are you, Mystic? Chris just starts pulling away as I roll up the window. This guy was like 50 years old.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
My favorite has been the Electabuzz that I caught. Nice. I was just getting off shift at work, and I look at my phone, and an Electabuzz is there, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, there's an Electabuzz at our rare spawn because we have a rare spawn out in our parking lot. And so I'm like, give me your phone. So I take all 3 of our phones out there. To go catch an Electabuzz for everybody.
Nice.
I catch both of theirs without real incident, and then get on my phone. And as I look at them, I've come back inside, and I'm like, oh crap! I only have 3 Pokeballs left.
Oh no!
And I'm like, no. So I'm like, okay, raspberry. Throw my first Pokeball, black hole. It disappears. I'm like, no. Second Pokeball, black hole.
Oh.
The third one curveballs, but hits it and catches it.
Oh man, that is clutch.
Oh man.
If the spawn point is still up for a while, you can run away, buy Pokeballs, and engage.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I was worried though because I had taken the time to catch theirs first, so I didn't know if he was still up or not.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You catch yours first.
Yeah, seriously.
You should at least click on it on all of them, and then leave them up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
People at my store, there was I wasn't around for this. I was on a delivery, but one of the guys had a Snorlax spawn at the mall, and he literally took 5 of the other people's phones and drove over there and caught the Snorlax.
Wow,
I once sent one of my employees, like he was going on his break, and I'm like, you need to take my phone and you need to walk up and down this place and find this Grimer. It was my first Grimer.
I've only caught one Grimer too.
You got it for me.
There was a Grimer as you guys were pulling in.
Got that guy.
So it was funny when I found out about PokeVision. I made Skuro a very attractive offer. I told him if he can find me a Kabuto nest, or even a place where they spawn with any kind of frequency or regularity, that I would actually openly defend him on the show. Openly defend him.
Clearly, this did not happen.
It did not happen at all. At all. I never got a location. But what's interesting about the spawn rates is that the Niantic places nests where specific things will spawn, and we saw this past week, just before they updated the app, that they switched the nests around. So there's a big
haven't changed at all.
There was a big meet and greet over at the zoo, and
my sister went.
The Detroit Zoo had been plugging for weeks that they were a Pikachu nest.
They're Ekans nests now.
And the day before the meet, It turned into Ekans' nest.
Yep, we went.
So, are these permanent changes, or do you think they've just made it so that every so often the nests will just change?
Like every week or something?
I think it's going to be every couple of weeks.
Changes.
Yeah, I think that's smart
so
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think that nests should maybe pop up in other areas too. That way, maybe one day, like you've never had a nest in your town, then suddenly, boom, Charmander nest.
I personally think that our Weedle and Rattata nest should change into literally anything else.
Straight up anything.
I've seen significantly less Rattatas.
I've noticed recently that it's just not a nest anymore. We don't even get as many Rattatas and Pidgeys as we used to.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So I finished off I think my best Pokemon, the one that is most worthy of bragging about would be the Dragonite that I have. And so the way that I ended up doing that, PokeVision was actually pretty instrumental in getting this done. There were rumors that there was a Dratini nest about a mile from where I worked. Okay. And I looked on PokeVision and kind of confirmed, okay, there's at least, there were 3 up when I looked. And I was like, that's a pretty good indication. So I went over there and spent 2 hours. I caught 9 Dratini.
Oh my God.
And finished it off. I was just like, all right, there's my 100 candy. I'm out. And
here in the real world where Poke Safari doesn't exist, we can't do that.
The next day,
I've hatched one and found one. That's it.
No, but you could though if you had found out where the Dratini nest was and gone and sought it out. You could have you could spend an entire afternoon catching that. But here's the thing, right? So I had made the trek over there after work. And this is, I would never do this. I would never hang out in a park for 3 hours in Oak Park, just for no reason. Met a ton of really cool people, 3 Facebook friends, and had actually a really legitimately good time.
Now, if only they could make this for Pokemon Go to the polls.
Shut up. The next day is when they switched nests. And the Dratini nest became an Eevee nest. And it's
I heard a lot of Dratinis turned into Eevee nests.
Yes, they did. And I have to wonder if some of that is purposeful.
Oak Park. Oh my God.
Yep.
Sure is.
I wonder how their algorithm works. So, what's considered a nest or just a spawn? Because my place, I have a spot near my pool where Dratinis spawn fairly regularly, but it's maybe once a day I'll see him on the nearby or whatever, and it's always the same spot where I see Psyducks and Magikarp. So it's it kind of rotates through those, and so I don't know if it's so much a nest or if it's just every so often it just pings the Dratini code. I don't really know what's considered a nest.
No, a nest has to be more than one up at a time.
Oh, okay, no.
Yeah, when you see people who have radars that have 5 Bulbasaurs on them.
Can you guys talk over each other a little bit more? Because that is not really confusing to hear on the air.
Oh, on my end, we weren't.
So, no, but the Dratini, for me, Dratini hits, it's hit 3 times today. I've caught 3 Dratini today. Yeah. And it basically will hit anywhere that water Pokemon hit. There's a path along one side of my house that will spawn rock types and fire types. And then out in the parking lot, it's sort of there's one spot that will hit an evolved. It will regularly hit there, and sometimes it's hard to get to. There was with that Raichu that we had caught that one week.
Yeah, I remember.
That was one that spawned a little bit deeper into that complex.
I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a little path on the way to my work where every time it'll spawn a fucking Caterpie, man, and it's always a Caterpie. Sometimes it turns into a Weedle, but it's every time it's that Caterpie or Weedle. It's called every single road ever in Flint.
Or Drowsies, right? You got
to. We've noticed a trend. Chris and I have noticed a very specific trend, okay? In Flint, a lot of the rundown neighborhoods, where the people let the grass grow. It's a little bit shady. There's cars sitting that never really move. Weedles everywhere, all right? But when you go to a little bit more of the classier sides of town, the downtown area, all the nice bars and stuff are, Caterpies everywhere. So
I don't know.
It just shows you that the Weedles are, kind of junky Pokemon, and Caterpies are more sophisticated. Yeah.
we have a Hitmonchan nest, or we did. It's not anymore. We had a Hitmonchan nest. My brother and I went up and caught a Hitmonchan up there, And while we're there, we get out of the car, walk into the park, and there is a bridal party there. They have clearly just come from a wedding. They're all still like in their like dresses and everything. And over to the they're doing one thing over to the left, and over to the right, there's a ton of people just standing in one place. And we're like, okay, that's probably where the Hitmonchan is.
Yeah.
So we walk over and we talk to them like, Hitmonchan's here, and they're like, yeah, it's like a little ways that way. So we're like, all right, like, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, we're catering for them over there, but they all wanted to come out and catch the Hitmonchan.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. So they actually came out to catch it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So this has sort of sparked an idea in other gaming companies. Of course, we know that when something is a pretty proven success, other companies will try to mirror that. We've seen Ubisoft come out and say that they're working on a AR type game. We don't know if it's attached to Assassin's Creed or what would seem logical to me, Watch Dogs. But
okay,
yeah, right. Watch Dogs, that would make sense.
You know what? Yokai Watch Go.
God, shut the fuck up. We've also seen Harry Potter Go is a thing that is apparently happening. So I'm kind of curious. Like, this is definitely going to kick off AR games as a thing. And hey, but are there types? Is there like a format of game that would lend itself well to an AR type
Actually,
thing?
I'm thinking of like it's hard to imagine because when I think of what Pokemon Go is, it's a lot of collecting and there's not a lot of things like that. But then when think of Harry Potter, there's the 4 different houses. So you join the house, you can actually find people on the street and have like wizard battles with your phones. Heck yes, that'd be sweet.
So I had dinner with an old boss of mine. And their son had actually mentioned something about this, and he said that he had heard this suggestion on another podcast. I don't really know where to work backwards, but when I heard the suggestion, it immediately clicked, and I thought that is the greatest idea. And if nobody's working on this, I don't know. Like, it would be a complete tragedy.
A card game Go?
No.
Oh.
Dungeons and Dragons, but in an AR game where you have to find 4 other people running the app at the same time. You party it up, and then the app acts as the DM. I mean, it's basically an RPG or an MMO that you play as an AR game. Oh my God. And instead of using controls, you actually have to walk around.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun.
In front of you.
Would you not play that right the fuck now? I would play that right the fuck now.
Robbie is our thief. He has to be in the front because that's where the traps spawn. And he has to disarm the traps before we get touch on the spike pit.
I mean, dude, this makes sense.
A lot of programming, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I feel like that is just... Like, it makes that makes sense, and it would be a good application, just like Pokemon, of taking a game type that is both known very well and beloved, and then putting that over on top of an AR game. It would totally work. It would totally work if, in the same way that Pokemon, they make Pokemon spawn and put Pokemon on a spawn timer. You can have objectives in each given area, like gyms, right?
Yeah.
And then the adventure is going to that because you're being encountered. You
pass by monsters, the lower XP monsters in lesser dense zones, and in more dense zones, higher shit.
Right.
Oh my God, that sounds cool.
And your character is your character. Like, it just,
it's first person.
Yes, it's your character sheet. Like, how is this not a fucking thing yet?
They just made Pokemon Go. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how does someone see Pokemon Go and not automatically? Like, the minute he said that, I mean, this is like a 17-year-old kid. 17, 18-year-old kid, and I'm like, the minute he said that, like a million things clicked in place, and I was like, that's brilliant.
Any new company is going to have to use their own form of GPS surveying. Like Niantic has, how long has Ingress been out?
Yeah, they had Ingress built and ready to go, which is nice.
Before Ingress, they had,
I don't know,
they had actual players submitting data about where it should be gyms and that kind of stuff. And like for Ingress, and they just kind of remapped over that. If any company other than Niantic wanted to do something like this, they'd need their own form of surveying landmarks. And stuff.
They'd need an algorithm. They'd need a way, yes, you're right, to point out landmarks, to be able to place things. And, you can either do, there's one of two ways to do that. You can either either hand place it and have it be something that's personally curated, which is insane. You can't do that. Or you make it algorithm based. And, I think Niantic has created a real strong case for the fact that, like, look, you can map that data. It is possible. Granted, Niantic was spun out of Google, and there is a lot of data that's thrown around inside that company as is, but I think that creates a really compelling case, because I don't know what Ingress looked like in its first couple of months that it launched, but I'd be really interested to know now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it literally is the same data that's mirrored on top of each other with a different mini game that's associated with it.
It'd be cool to see a company partner with Google to make a game too.
I can say, Melky says that Niantic is planning on selling their database for all that stuff as well, which is smart.
There you go.
With a game like that is gonna make bank.
That's dude. Okay, and I mean,
like, see it now.
I would love to work for Niantic right now, because it's just like they must have just money being thrown at them.
You know what? We need to start looking at stock options before it's too late.
It is too late.
It's too late. It's way too late.
Not unless they're going to sell their database and make even more money.
Exactly. It's a double income strategy, dude.
Brilliant.
That's
We can
crazy.
maybe buy one stock right now.
And they control the purse strings. Like they are the exclusive proprietor of this data that would be used to build other games. Do you know what a commodity that is? That's value. That is so valuable. And to think that they did it under the auspices of Ingress. Like, Ingress, it was like they knew that they had to map that data and they had to plot those points, and it was sort of like Ingress was the game to be able to figure out how to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a thinly field game to make a database.
Yes, that is exactly what it is, and it's kind of amazing that they've been able to manipulate people and get them to do the work for them. You know, like it's like Niantic is brilliant.
This is a game.
This is a company that understands incentive and reward. The reward structure on Pokemon Go is almost perfect, except for people who live in really unpopulated areas, rural areas, and stuff that just spawn shit over and over again. Except for those people, I think that they have done a really good job at making the rewards something that you want and that you keep trying for, right? Like, again, I mean, my great white whale is a Kabutops. And I feel like, yeah, had I gotten that right away, I probably would have tuned out of the game way faster. But now that I'm so close, dude, like, I've not been tuned into a game on this level in quite a while. And
out of all the games for it to happen with?
Yeah, seriously.
I know, right? It's kind of crazy. I did, and I couldn't have predicted this.
Oh,
there's no way.
There's a Rhyhorn somewhere. What? What?
Oh, snap.
I can just see Final Fantasy XI Go, and Nate is just sitting down on the sidewalk with his party flag up, just as a Dark Knight, just sitting there. He's got an O hat on.
Somebody walks up. You're playing FF11 Go? Yeah. You want to party? Yeah, sure. What job are you? I'm a Dark Knight. Oh, okay.
Real quick. Before we wrap this up, though, is there any application that something like an AR game or that Pokemon Go has laid down the fundamentals for that could be applicable as like a linked app to an MMO or a linked app to another game that you play outside of, you know, like, for example, FF14, if there was a companion
like a
app,
triple triad,
right?
Yeah,
and it had an AR aspect to it. Like, what are ways that other companies could use this format of a game to be able to support products that they already have in the market?
You mean like Lords of Verminion and augmented reality?
You first mentioned Watch Dogs. That's like what Ubisoft could be attaching to.
Right.
I feel like Watch Dogs is something that is deserving of more than just a spin-off AR game. Like, that should totally link up with Watch Dogs 2. They should have like a simultaneous release, and I mean, I don't know how the Watch Dogs plays, so I can't really necessarily say how the AR game would complement the actual game, but I feel like that would be a huge missed opportunity to not link those two things.
And I agree, and I also think that if you're going to go that far, that it should carry over into the game that you're playing. Like, whatever you're doing in the mobile version or the AR game or whatever you want to call it, you should be able to benefit, like, whatever items you are out collecting, transfer transfers into your game.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like EVE Online, where
I think any online MMO.
Well, EVE, like something like EVE Online, or if you want to do it like FF14, if you could go around and collect minerals and stuff that you could craft in
resource hunting,
yeah.
Any MMO, if you have like a gathering or a class of some sort, and you could go out in the world and be like, oh, there's a mining point here where I can get like the rare ore, and then like it transfers back to your character in the game.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
It really would. And I think that companies are going to have to look closely at these sorts of things. And again, Pokemon Go and its success really just opens the door for the possibilities. We know that
proof of concept.
Yes, we know that the technology exists. We know that it is theoretically possible, and I would just love to see. I think the first person who gets there is really going to make an impact, just like Pokemon Go.
The other thing you have to keep.
What?
Sorry, Nate, you got lagged out for a second. The other thing you have to keep in mind is something that you actually bring up quite a bit when it comes to new MMOs specifically, is the ones that succeed have IPs attached to them, big IPs.
That's true too.
If this wasn't Pokemon, would this have happened?
Right, I'd never heard of Ingress until Pokemon Go. So
because I don't think it would have. I think that
not.
the major key element in this amazing success is the fact that it was Pokemon.
Yeah, which to me, again, Dungeons and Dragons in the same format carries the same weight.
Yeah,
right?
but Dungeons and Dragons as a company, Wizards are just. They're just so bad at everything right now.
I know.
Well,
I know.
but they wouldn't do it. They license out all the games.
I would hope that they would be smart and license Niantic directly. Get Niantic involved directly, because
is Niantic big enough for that?
I don't know. I mean, they can be now.
They will be soon.
They can be now. And the other thing, I got a couple of people who gave me flack for this. Where I said, when I said, hey, don't automatically look at Pokemon Go and assume that money is filtering its way back to Nintendo. Many news stories have been coming out to say that, and even a statement by Nintendo to say, look, don't overstate the potential profits that we're making off of this. We're only taking in a percentage. Like Nintendo's getting a lot of credit for Pokemon Go's success, and a lot of people are saying that they're benefiting financially. The ones that are really benefiting from the success, there's three. There's Niantic, and that's mostly just in visibility and some percentage of what they're taking in over the market. There's iTunes, which is taking a 30% cut of every transaction, and then there's Google Play, who has, I think, a smaller cut but still takes a cut.
There's the Pokemon Company.
But the Pokemon Company is like 5 different companies. So when the money,
Nintendo owns part of
it's
that,
already divvied up into into whatever once it gets to the Pokemon Company, and then it's got to be divvied up 5 more ways. So Nintendo is only one of those sub-divvies in there.
Yes.
And even though their stock did see a huge hit, let's not sit around and say this is the thing that's going to save Nintendo, because it's absolutely not.
Yes. In fact, you mentioned that they actually released a statement saying we're not getting as much money as you guys think, because their stock had went from, it was like at 15,000, it went up to 37, and then after they released that statement, it dropped down to settle around 23.
Which, that's fine. I mean, they are definitely making something off of it, but people seem to be under this impression that Nintendo is the one that's sitting back and raking in all of those microtransactions, and they're just simply not.
Well, what it's going to do is it's going to let them see a big boost on Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon could not be more perfectly timed right now.
Yup.
Yes, but also maybe not, because I really feel like the current gen is so poorly designed. The Pokemon are so poorly. I don't know that
I think the new ones are getting a lot more hype, like in general, and that the newer games are done better.
X and Y, they have done so many quality of life things that if any new person was going to get into it and stay in it, now would be the time.
But the notable thing is how many folks our age tuned back into Pokemon because of Pokemon Go.
I know a few, and I know some that have never left. I know some that have bought everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say most people I know had never tuned out.
Well, there's a significant, like I tuned out right immediately after first generation, and yes, this definitely gets me to tune back into Pokemon, but I don't know that it gets me to buy Sun and Moon.
This has definitely gotten me to buy either Sun or Moon.
Well, I know that I want to replay all of, I went through and dug out all my old Game Boy games, and I found Yellow, I found Gold and Silver. I'm like, I want to play these now.
I will admit to going out and buying Soul Silver. Because you guys showed me that I can run DS games on.
Yeah, and actually that like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Soul Silver, Heart Gold, like those ones actually have extra stuff and even extra lore in it that I didn't realize it. Like I've been watching. I mean, this has actually gotten me a lot more into Pokemon. Like I've been watching Pokemon theory videos.
Well, your
lore
hat
videos.
is in it. If any, any indication
Well, I've
of that.
actually had these for a while, but I mean, it's and so now that I've been like reading the lore, and they're like, yeah, well, here's the theory pulled from this, and this, and then in Fire Red, there's this extra bit of dialogue. I'm like, what? I want this thing. Like. I kind of want to go back and buy all these new ones now and play them.
I would love to play Fire Red, but I'm not spending that kind of money. No.
Pokemon cards retain their value.
They do. They absolutely do. And, the rarity, the exclusivity, the work that you have to get towards rare Pokemon, that all plays into the motivation factor. Like getting the rarer stuff is what, like, I will get out of fucking bed for a starter. Like it'll be 3 a.m. I'll be right close to sleep, and if it comes up, I will get out of bed to pick up a starter.
Yeah, Malky Sarah. I wonder what if they released like the current gen of Pokemon, like after they've done original gen. What if they do current gen alongside Sun and Moon, and it has a link to the game? How sweet would that be? I don't think it would because it's a 3DS, right? But I think it would be pretty sweet.
Then, I mean, at that point, just link it up to the Pokebank. That's not good.
Well, yeah, or that. I mean, that would be a great idea, I think.
Or they could even do something like, when Sun and Moon releases, if you go to certain locations, you get Ditto or, the first legendary or something.
I'm sure that, one of these legendaries is going to be, timed with the Sun and Moon release.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting
silly not to.
Well, we're getting close to the first promotional event that apparently Niantic has set up with McDonald's.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And
finally gonna get my Snorlax.
I'm loving it.
That makes sense, though. McDonald's used to have all the Pokemon toys back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I even found my, gold-plated Jigglypuff thing from McDonald's. Or was it Burger King?
That was Burger King.
But the little toys and stuff from the Happy Meals were McDonald's.
Yep. Yeah. So, all right, that's going to do it. We have run out of time here on Final Encountercast. We want to thank you for joining us live here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. What are you looking all around for?
We have a caller.
Oh, we do?
We've had a caller for an hour.
Oh, I didn't know.
I sent you the message.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Well.
Oh, that's hilarious. They're still waiting?
Yeah.
Dedication.
Nice.
You do know that I never threw out the phone number. I never said that we were taking calls.
Oh, well.
I feel like because they've been waiting that long.
Oh yeah, we'll take the call. We'll take the call. I'm just saying I never threw it out there.
Well, I mean, it's up there. It says call in live on the stream.
I know it does, but unless I'm throwing it out there.
If he doesn't actually say it, that doesn't count. So ignore all that.
No, I feel like if I don't say, if I don't ask for it, we don't have to, if we have a caller, we can we don't have to go to them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I mean,
we did not structure this conversation for calls or additional time.
Fair enough.
So, all right, let's.
Clearly, we didn't structure this conversation. Period.
So let's talk to. And by the way, I thought that was just Skuro. I thought it was Skuro waiting, and I was going to just be like, nah, that doesn't matter. So, Karen, thanks for calling Final Encountercast. How's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'd just like to point out that Chris said in the chat, if you want to talk about Pokemon Go, send a message over to the Final Encountercast Skype. So, yeah.
So someone's
Chris
trying to cover up.
overstepping his bounds
it's Chris.
here.
That's what Kooky would have said.
Chris, tisk,
You're
tisk,
not
tisk.
kooky.
Yeah, don't try to be kooky.
You're not Batman.
Anyway, so Karen, let's talk.
All right, so I've been realizing that after the first update with Pokemon Go, that Niantic is already having a pattern, which I don't like, and it's going to be involving updates and quality of life things.
Okay.
So all the stuff that's been happening with PokeVision and all that stuff, that's already been happening years before with Ingress for the same reasons, and everyone's been saying, well, we should probably get an open API for this and whatever. There is none, and Ingress has been waiting for that for years. Pokemon Go, I don't even think we're probably going to get one.
No, I don't imagine we would. Well, because the API was, very, very open to begin with in its first release, and a lot of people picked through that very, very quickly. And part of the reason that I was so ambivalent and so okay with PokeVision is because it was using the available API, and as you know, Niantic is the one that controls the strings on that. So if there's data patterns that they're not liking, they can, and clearly they did, shut it down. And it becomes contingent on Niantic to make that choice. I think it's an unfortunate choice, though, because these third-party development tools, I think, can be really creative and really interesting, and can lead people who are making them to have careers in not just making that software, but their talent being discovered and having them brought into other projects. That's some of the best parts of game development, and even third-party game development, is the legitimacy or the talent that that you are able to display to the overall masses. Because there were people who have been making bots and stuff for Pokemon Go that had no idea how PokeVision stripped the data that it did, and how it collected the data that it did, and how it was so fucking accurate. All of those things were really remarkable for a site on that level to be using. And so as long as Niantic was basically not saying, hey, don't use this, it felt a little bit like cheating, maybe, but at the same time, it also felt very justifiable with the nearby glitch being what it is. So, with those things, I think that it creates a perfect environment for people to want to and to seek out these sorts of tools. And it is also contingent on Niantic to provide a positive game environment and to be able to make sure that all of the functions of their game works. And what I wish they would do is they would walk back that statement that they had, that they had issued to Forbes, where they said, look, we're going to be shutting down PokeVision and PokeRadar and all of these things, and instead contact those developers directly and go, until we have our shit together, you guys have not permission, but you guys will not be you guys will not be sued, or
no C&D is coming your way yet.
You're not going to get a C&D. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah. So, with all of those things, I think it's unfortunate, Niantic, but it's not surprising. At the same time, it's not surprising because it did feel a lot like cheating.
Mm-hmm. And how it functioned was a little bit like cheating. I mean, in theory, it did break the terms of service. So.
Well, in very real terms, in practice, it broke the terms of service.
Yeah, in practice, but it's not like they were going to go after them. That's why PokeVision did it shut down voluntarily.
Right.
The thing that I'm going back to Ingress a lot because they're always so similar. Ingress had basically the same map.
Yes.
Using the same data, and they got a C&D.
Yes.
So I'm assuming the guys from PokeVision saw that, saying, "Yeah, we probably shouldn't touch that territory and just drop out right now."
Right. And it's smart of them. And I actually didn't even notice this while it was active, but I noticed it after they had sort of issued their statement. But PokeVision, according to the Twitter, was run out of Novi, Michigan. So
what?
Yeah.
Really? Right. Yeah.
So, and that's pretty. That's kind of crazy to know that was just a dude in our backyard who was enthusiastically working on that, and he was not being compensated. I mean, there was a donate button, there was a PayPal donate button on the website, but you have to imagine. I mean, this guy for 2 weeks, his life was being ruled by servers up, servers down, servers up, servers down, servers up, servers down. Your server is down. Your service is down. Just being inundated with tweets.
You suck.
And I noticed that PokeVision didn't work if the trainer club was down.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and that service has been having a whole ton of trouble. So yeah, I think it's unfortunate, not surprising, but Niantic is the one that ultimately makes these decisions. And if there are any third-party Pokemon Go developers listening right now, I'm going to make one appeal to you. Stop naming, because we now know how Niantic feels about this, right? So stop naming everything Poke something, okay? If someone is going to bring PokeVision back, bring it back as Rocket Vision, okay? Embrace the Team Rocketness about it. You're going around. You're
cheating.
Cheating's kind of a loaded word there. But you're specifically looking for Pokemon, to steal. Basically, you're kind of stealing. It's Team Rockety. It's Team Rocket.
Stealing is fine, but cheating, well, that's kind of a strong word.
You don't steal it from other players, but I mean, it is. Look, it embraces the Team Rocket spirit. So just call it Rocket Vision and embrace that whole end of it. Karen, thanks for the call. Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No. Basically, all I'm hoping is that they learned from Ingress and make the game better than Ingress ever was. And if they don't, I'm
Best
so
there
worried.
ever was.
Well, when it comes to 20 million concurrent users, I think that we will probably see this evolve in a way a little bit differently than Ingress did.
And with 20 million concurrent users, you're going to have a lot more people who are interested in the third-party development and a lot more creative and smart people able to develop in that sphere. So, we've in the course of the show, we've talked about PokeVision and PokeRadar, and we've also talked about, the GPS spoofings and stuff like that. Clearly these tools exist out there, and a lot of people are basically going to tell you it's either not cheating or that, that these tools are totally safe. They're really not. Like, the thing that you risk is your account. You risk your collection. You risk,
low risk.
It's a fairly low risk. I mean, when I had weighed my options, I looked at if Niantic bans me, what am I really losing out on? I can move on.
That Kabutops.
That Kabutops is really the thing.
That Kabutops, though.
Yeah. So, just be careful. Use your best judgment. There is a lot of these third-party websites or services or apps, and then there's the other thing that a lot of them just may not straight up be legit. They may say, hey, this is a PokeRadar, and it's something that's gonna sniff your phone for all its data.
Yeah. Hey, give me your Google account and I shall show you the Dragonite.
Exactly. Yeah, don't necessarily trust that.
If it seems too good to be true, it probably
is. Some really, I think that, Pokemon Go is probably the most interesting thing in gaming at the moment. We'll see what kind of hold it continues to have on gamers and the rest of the population as Niantic continues to break its game on purpose. So,
well, fixing things.
And we still play it.
Fixing. It's true. That is true. I mean, the motivation is still there. So I haven't lost the motivation.
And speaking of breaking things and just going forward, it's just a matter of time before we get Pokemon Go to the polls.
Oh my God.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Stop.
That's going to do it here for Final Encounter Cast, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's been fun having you here at twitch.tv/Final Encounter Cast. Make sure you check out our show. That's over at finalencountercast.com. We've got some news about some expansion that's going on in the network and with our content. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. Join us at Alamo City Comic Con, October 28th and 29th. We're going to be out there and announcing some big stuff. Maybe the two of them are related. Who knows? Again, October 28th through the 30th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. Join us, AlamoCityComicCon.com, FinalEncounterCast.com. I want to thank my crew. We've got Len, who's been hanging out in the corner. We've also got the Scrote, who's been scroting it up. And, of course, everyone else. My hosts, my co-hosts here, Chris, Robbie, Nika, Callie. My name's Nate. Have a good one. Final Encounter Cast is a production of FinalEncounterCast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Robbie Landis. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid206.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobsy. For more info, visit sobsy.bandcamp.com. For links to articles mentioned on this show, check out our live blog at finalencountercast.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.